Greetings, Commanders, Cerebrits, and Executors. In this episode, we'll talk about a concept that informs how you think about playing StarCraft: multitasking. You've almost certainly heard the word multitasking before. By it, I mean being in charge of several separate tasks at the same time and trying to manage all of them. Obviously, this is the position you're in during a game of StarCraft. Lots of things are going on at once. How do you deal with all of them? The key skill you want to practice is swapping attention. This is the core of multitasking well. Most of the tasks in StarCraft, you have to start, then they take time to happen during which you can't do anything useful to progress them, but once the task finishes, you want to do something else. For example, you press the button to start building a worker. While the worker is building, you can't speed it up. But when it's done, you want to send it to mine, and you want to start building another worker. So now the probe's finished, I want to tell it to go mine, and I want to start another probe. You command a probe to start a new nexus. I'm gonna have to get this probe over to where the minerals are. I command the probe to start a new nexus. While the nexus constructs, there is nothing I can do to make it construct faster. But once the nexus is finished constructing, I want to send a group of workers to go mine there. If I command a probe to warp in a gateway, can the probe get through here? You can, okay. If I command the probe to warp in a gateway, I can't make the gateway construct any faster by staring at it, but when it's done, I want to start making a combat unit out of it. Or if I look at my forge, if I begin researching the +1 weapons upgrade, the weapons upgrade is going to take a certain amount of time to finish, and there's nothing I can do to make it finish sooner, but when it is finished, I want to start up the +2 weapons upgrade. If you have an army and you move the army to walk across the map towards the enemy base, there's not much reason to watch your army walking across the map, but when it gets there, you want to be paying attention to controlling it well so that it can win the fights it's going to get into. Almost every task in StarCraft starts when you press a button, then has some downtime in the middle where you can't do anything to make it go faster, and then it finishes, and it's time for you to press another button to start the next task. This isn't because you're expected to stare at a bar filling up and do nothing. It's because you're supposed to use that downtime to go and pay attention to another task. Imagine a person who's juggling. You have 2 hands and you have 3 rubber balls. You physically can't catch all the balls at once if you think of having 1 ball in each hand. You have too many balls for the number of hands you have. But if you can catch each ball one by one, then you can throw that ball back into the air before the next ball comes down. Each time you throw a ball back into the air, you buy yourself a little time before you need to think about that ball again because it's in the air, and you can pay attention to a different ball for the next few seconds. It's the same in StarCraft. You might have 20 or more different tasks you're managing at once. You can't pay attention to 20 different tasks all at the same instant. The human brain isn't capable of that. But what you can do is pay attention to one task for a short time, and then switch to another task for a short time, and then switch attention to another task. Each time you pay attention to one of the many things under your command in the game, try to move it back into a state where it'll progress automatically for a while without your input. Each time you build a new worker, go check your other main bases and start a new worker there too. Now you don't have to think about building workers for a few seconds because they're under construction. Use that time to check if your army's reached the other side of the map yet. Each time you build a new combat unit from one of your production structures, start a new combat unit building out of each of your other production structures as well. Well, now we have combat units on the way, we don't have to worry about what these gateways are doing for a bit, because they'll spend some time building those units, and we can't make that go faster by staring at it. Okay, so we should go use our time to do something else, like, let's go check if our upgrades are finished. And let's start some new upgrades. This Nexus is finished. Let's transfer some workers over to it. And now the probes that we started building, not a few minutes ago, are finished. So let's go around all our Nexuses and start a new probe at each Nexus again. And now the combat units are finished building, so let's go through our gateways and queue up more combat units at the gateways. And we can't do anything with our upgrades, but let's advance our technology a bit. And let's take our army and let's move it out onto the map. And now let's check for finished workers again, and our workers are finished, so let's start a new worker at each of our Nexuses, get our existing workers mining. And let's recheck the gateways and start up even more combat units now that the existing combat units are done. And get these ones moving as well. The habit you want to develop is to only spend a few seconds on each individual task and then switch to a different task as soon as you can. Just try to get each task back into a state where it's progressing without you paying attention to it, and then go look at another task and try to get that task into a state where it will progress without you paying attention to it, and so on and so on. Never just watch an upgrade researching, sitting idly looking at a bar filling up. That's time you could be using on something else. If you keep changing focus, then you can manage a lot of different tasks at once. And StarCraft has a lot of different tasks for you to manage. If you can get good at doing this, at switching your attention between all the different things that you're in charge of that you might need to pay attention to, then you'll be able to manage large bases, large armies, lots of production, lots of economy, and you'll be much more effective at playing StarCraft, at commanding the forces that you have.